Hi, my name is Diana Wilson. I'm the Chief Communications Officer for Jeffco Public Schools. I'm here with your Now Boarding report, and this is a glimpse at what your school board is doing in your community. First, a little bit of a recap. In April, our Board of Education was very busy. They heard a lot of reports. First was about early childhood. This is preschool, essentially. What's the quality? How many do we have? How hard is it for people to access? So they heard all about our current preschool programs and also heard about plans for the future. And in general, everybody wants the program to expand, but the resources are pretty limited. So looking at ways on how we can expand our preschool offerings to families and also make them affordable, as well as use the resources we have to make it realistic. The board also heard from the Capital Advisory Committee. This is a committee of citizens, business owners, local municipalities, as well as our own staff that keep an eye on all of our assets, our physical assets. So all of our buildings, all of our schools. And this year their recommendation was to look at possibly going for a bond in November. And what a bond is it's a property tax. We ask voters to give us permission to go out and get loans. And then the bonds are, the property tax essentially pays back the loans. So you're probably wondering, why did the committee recommend this? And this committee feels that there's $800 million worth of needs for our facilities, and obviously we wouldn't ask that much for a bond, but that we need to start addressing this issue because our buildings on average are 50 years old. The board also supported a resolution to support Initiative 93. So this is public education funding, an idea about an income tax. So right now, people are gathering signatures all over the state to try and get this on the ballot in November. They all decided it was a good idea to support it. It's an interesting proposal because it's an income tax, which we haven't used to fund public education in the past in our state. Essentially, if you make over $150,000 a year, or if you're a C corporation, you would be subject to this income tax. That would all go towards public education, not only K-12, but also preschool. The board also heard about how we prepare staff to become principals if they're interested, about technology and data privacy, our alternative education options, the innovation fund, how it went and what we're planning for the future, and also our Jeffco online enrollment system. The online enrollment system would be a pretty big project if the board decides to fund it. It would change our paper system of choice enrollment actually to an enrollment system that would be online that every family would use. Have a database so make it easier to find out what goes on at your neighborhood school as well as all the schools in the district, and then be able to let us know where you would like to enroll that next year, and that helps us plan a little bit more effectively. In May, our board will meet with our Edgewater City Council. One of the school board's jobs is to meet with other municipal agencies, keep up relationships, talk about the schools in their area. They will look at the proposed budget in May and vote on it finally in June. Still waiting on what the final funding is from the state at this point, but pretty close on the proposed budget. The Free Horizon Montessori School is up for a vote. They are going for an innovations plan. So this was a charter school that's now transitioning to be a district innovation school and also moving into what used to be Pleasant View Elementary. They'd be moving into that building. So that's up for a vote in May. School finance is a big deal right now. If you remember, we had a number of teacher walkouts protesting K-12 public school funding. So we have a lot of conversations with the board right now on a variety of different levels. So it's, what is the state legislature doing about K-12 public school funding? State ballot issues in November. We just talked about Initiative 93. The board is always looking for input. So if you have an opinion about these things, please go online, go to our website. We're also starting a community engagement task force, and this task force would give advice to the board as well as our superintendent on what are our schools doing out in the community? What are our relationships like? Where should we be moving to make sure that our schools stay a pillar of our community? If you're interested in that task force, the first meeting is going to be in June. Go to jeffcopublicschools.org for details. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next month.